Now, this is why we didn't have a movie last week. On Wednesday, March 24th, we got 24 inches of snow. So it's a week later. We've had some nice weather. My husband plowed the arena with the backhoe to get the snow off. Everything dried out. And we're back to work again. So last time that I worked on Samba, she just wanted to keep trotting all the time. Trot, trot, trot. She was just having such a wonderful time with it. Now she seems like she kind of got that out of her system, and she's willing to wait on me to ask her to trot. We're doing just some stop and go here, trying to get her to stop with her head still down, and I'm trying to do what you told me to do, to kind of square up my shoulders and poke my stomach out. So here I'm asking her to do a little turn in. She's looking at something outside the arena, so I kind of have to wait on her to get her attention back. And there she does a real nice stop after that turn in. Her head didn't pop up at all. So I'm riding her from the ground, just using the reins. And I did have her in the kind of setup with the driving reins and the lunging gizmo on the saddle. And I just couldn't seem to get the feel of her right. It seemed too heavy, and she was a little upset with it. Now when I find the right size circle, she offers a trot here. That is such a pretty little trot. And we do some trotting here under saddle. That was a learning experience, as we'll get to. Good trot walk transition there. She just walked right into it and then stopped very nicely. Last time you told me to really poke my stomach out to stop, my belly button. So we're practicing this a little bit here. And here I ask for another stop. That was pretty good. I ask her to lower her head. Yeah. And then we go. So after several times around, she's starting to understand what the exercise is, and she's getting much better at it. That was a nice stop, and she didn't throw her head up. And I ask her to lower her head a little more, and we go on. Here's one more stop. Yep, good job there, girl. So here we're just going to walk around in a circle, and I'm kind of guiding her by turning my belly button toward the center of the circle or toward the outside of the circle as needed. And she really responds to that. That really speaks to her. And she's taking a nice head position here. And so I thought she's doing so well at the walk, we're going to try a little trot here. Even before I ask for trot, she's already trotting. She knows what I'm going to ask for. So it starts out good, and then it all goes to pot. I'm bouncing a little bit, and her head goes up. She loses her balance. We're on too big of a circle, and she can't get rebalanced easily. I'm asking her to slow down by going ho-ho, and she responds to that. But here she feels strong and bouncy. And I can't control her as easily either. She's like pinging off into space, going out into orbit. But she wants to keep trotting, so I'm keeping her on some semblance of a circle. I would like for her to walk, but she wants to keep trotting. So I'm just trying to stay with her a little bit here. Now there's everything that is going wrong. Ugh. And it looks horrible. Now you can't tell it here, but we actually took quite a long break there, and we just walked around in a circle, and it just did stop and go, which is something she's familiar with, and it calms her down. And then I asked her to trot again, and at first her head was up in the air, but then she kind of got it all of a sudden. And now her head is down. That's a much prettier picture. And I'm keeping her on a much smaller circle. I'm not bouncing as much because she's very balanced and soft. Her back is like a nice sofa to sit on. So we do a little more trotting. And she is really getting the hang of it. And I'm feeling much more comfortable. I'm trying to keep my hands in one spot in space. And now I ask for a walk transition. And she really walks into it nicely. She hesitated a little there because she thought I was going to ask for a stop. And now I ask for stop. And she did great. So with Prairie, we're continuing to work on lots and lots of move out with some turn in. I'm trying to get him so he always bends in a little circle like this, bends his body along the circle and steps under himself. And I've been having some issues with him. You know how sometimes he does a fake move out where he's actually walking forward with his head and neck cocked to the inside? He's been doing that quite a bit lately. And I have to really keep an eye on him and make sure everything is stepping under and crossing over like it's supposed to. So he's doing good here. Under saddle, here we go. I'm going to stop him. I'm really trying to poke out my stomach. And he stops. He had a good stop before, and I also say, ho, and he'll stop as soon as he hears that. But I'm trying to get some move out with him here, and he's kind of cheating on me a little bit and doing some of that fake move out. So now we're going back on the circle. I'm kind of trying to guide him just using my belly button and turning in and moving out. Now with Samba, I always have to keep turning her in. And with Prairie, I always have to keep doing move out. Because he'll do a circle that's about 6 feet in diameter if I just let him go. Because he thinks he's supposed to. Everything he does, it's because he thinks he's supposed to. He's not really responding to what I'm asking him to do. He's the kind of horse that will keep doing move out in the same spot of the circle every time we go around because he did it there once and I patted him. I don't know, he's not real responsive to what I'm telling him. And that can be extremely frustrating. Here I'm asking him to soften. He's just totally not paying attention to me. He's leaning on the reins. I'm lifting the inside rein and I really give him a boink. And I say, stop that. Okay, he gets the picture. Quite a difference from last year when I was afraid to touch him. I've had to get a little bit stronger with him to make my views understood. But then once I made myself understood, then I go back to asking him nicely with very light aids. And he seems to respond well to that. I guess that's what you call a correction, huh? Light bulb. But here I'm having to do some strong corrections here because he is just totally not paying attention to me. Doesn't care that I'm asking him to lower his head. I gave him a big boink. And then I let the reins go slack to reward him. Anyway, his head popped right back up again. So now I'm trying to ask him to put his head down. There, nice. And I let the reins go forward. And there he's backing up. Yep, maybe I'm not giving enough rein forward to reward him, because now he's thinking that I'm asking for backup or something. I don't know. So he's either thinking that I'm asking him to back up, or maybe he is seeing if that works, if it's something that I want him to do. Okay, so here I'm going to ask him to do move out again, but first I have to get his head right here. So here I swivel my belly button toward the outside, right there, and I'm going to ask him with my inside leg to start stepping over. Yep.
Good boy.
And he got that.
Get that head down.
He can be so maddening.
Good boy.
Because I never know if he needs longer periods of reward to understand what I'm asking for, or if I'm boring him to death by having too long a period of reward. Sometimes it seems like he doesn't understand me, so I don't know. I'm still trying to get dialed into him. Oh, now this looks very pretty. He's doing a very good job here. I'm just trying to ride him in move out around this circle and get him really bending and stepping under.
Yes, good boy.
That was nice.
Get that head down. Good boy.
And now we get his head right, and I'm going to ask him for a little turn in.
Good boy. Go this way. Oh, that's a bad boy. Go this way.
He's kind of been doing worse at turn in lately because he swings his butt around instead of just keeping his hind feet stationary and moving his front end. But here he's doing a very nice move out. That was good.